Hey guys, I want to bring some attention to an issue that I've recently been experiencing a lot, especially the past few days. This past week, it's been a problem. I do think this is causing another issue to happen where you're not able to hold your walls and you're losing your walls more often. I've noticed this. I do believe coin flip is still in the game, but there are other issues that are probably causing it to not work as intended. Let's take a look at this clip real quickly. This has happened so much to me just in the past few days, and here's where I think there's an issue happening. The first swing I take, I swing at his wall and I try to replace his wall quickly because you got to time it well in order to make it happen. But there's a problem with the swing animation where you swing, you hit the wall visually, and there's an audio cue, but you don't actually do damage to the wall. And this causes a bit of frustration on my part. I know this has been happening for a long time, but you might say I'm doing it too fast, right? But this problem has only started happening in the past couple of weeks at most. I didn't experience this problem in the past where I break a wall and it just doesn't place. I haven't experienced this before. This problem has really only been happening in the past couple of weeks. I have 26 ping in this clip, no packet loss. Like, it shouldn't be this clunky. It shouldn't be this clunky. Please address this. I thought he was drinking the big pot. Got a business email? I do. It's in my Twitter bio. Almost every fight is a box fight, rarely good old build fights. Well, build fights are not inherently good. They're dangerous. Especially with nothing to catch yourself, nothing to launch away. Build fighting is just for fun. It's not actually something that you should be like encouraged to do all the time. You'll notice that most of the smarter players box fight instead of build fight. In box fighting, smarter players typically win more often. Build fighting, you end up getting third party. That's not a good look. Like, look at this guy. This guy wanted to build fight me, but he didn't even have any mats to build fight me. He just build fought me for no reason. He runs out of mats and dies. If he box fought me, he would have had more mats, and as a result, he might have come out on top or something. Like, he started the fight off by using so many mats. He needed to chill out. You should practice box fighting, chat, this season. Practice box fighting. There's a lot of maps for box fighting, 2v2, 1v1. Practice with your friends. Box fight, box fight, box fight. Box fighting is the meta. Build fighting is the old meta. Build fighting, it's good to have build fighting skills, but realistically, in tournaments, you never want to engage in a full-on build fight. It's too risky with third parties. Getting knocked down, it's just way too risky, and it's a big mat waste. But what if you don't have friends? Well, what the heck? Oh, I thought he was gonna keep sliding back. This guy's a gangster. He's a gangster, chat. It's hard to tell like how good a player is and how bad they are sometimes. I still don't know if that guy was like really good or what. He's just like made some good moves, got a good shot in, but then after that it's just all went downhill for him. Poor guy. If they build one wall, bot, two walls, booga. One wall equals bot, two walls equals booga. That's the that's the threshold where, oh man. Well, according to streamers, that's how it works. If someone only builds one wall, they're a bot. If someone builds more than one wall, they're a sweat. You guys, okay, so like the term sweat has obviously been overused and oversaturated, and it's kind of stupid now, but I can explain to you, like, there is a difference between a really good player playing well and playing to win and then a sweaty player. But like, to be honest with you, like, I feel like it's a sore spot for some people, because some people might identify as the sweaty player and then they're like, well, it's not something that you should be ashamed of. There's a difference. There's a difference. Like okay, if somebody, like when I call somebody a sweaty player, right? Sometimes it's out of salt. Like, I'm just salty that they're playing well, so I call them sweaty, whatever. But there are times where you go against a player who's playing sweaty, but they're not playing well. They're playing sweaty. There's a difference. There's a very, very fine difference between a sweaty player, good player, pro player, player playing to win, player playing for fun, whatever, right? There's certain things that people sometimes do that make me categorize them as a sweaty player. Oops. What just happened? How did he fall? Okay, I can give some really good examples, actually. I can give some really good examples. It's not that complicated, right? It's really not that complicated. Let's say you start build fighting somebody and they don't take a single shot at you. They just keep cranking and cranking and cranking, and they're doing phase sway retakes. Wow. He drank a big pot right in front of me. Put the controller down, buddy. Your time is up. All right. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So say you're build fighting somebody and they have height on you and they just keep cranking and cranking and cranking, and they're not slowing down and they're not letting up. They just keep cranking all over you and they're never taking a shot, and they're clearly skilled and building out their mines and using all their mats, and every time you try to get near them they just keep cranking up. So that's a sweaty player. He's not a good player. Inherently he's not making good decisions because he's wasting his mats and overbuilding, but he's good enough to where he's cranking out these cool like wall retakes and clearly practices his builds a lot, to the point where you would consider him a skilled individual. But all that cranking is leading to nothing. I'm disappointed in myself. That was a sweaty player right there, right? So he's a sweaty player. Does that make sense? A good player would have dropped, like a really good player would have dropped. Obviously, over the building and stuff was to try to get away from me, and it somehow worked. But like a good player would have dropped down and realized what I was doing, that I was trying to drop him in. But a sweaty player just keeps building, and hopes that, you know, I don't know, God will come down and escort him to the victory royale screen. I knew his first bullet through was gonna hit me. It's so annoying. Don't storm fight me. Don't storm fight me, bro. That guy really had to hit me, huh? There might be maybe advantage in one of these. Oh, I was hoping for that big pot. Oh my God, this guy's desperate. How did that first one not hit him, bro? Dude, this guy's the luckiest man alive. I'll take that dub, chat. I'll take it. I feel like I had to earn that one, man. I don't know why he quit, though. He could have potentially beamed me as I was jumping.